All right, as promised, here is our NHL analyst, Frankie Corrado. Frankie, this was awesome. Just the atmosphere in Vancouver, playoff hockey for the first time in 9 years. And Dakota Joshua is making money by the game here.
Okay, exponentially.
The contract's just going up and up. 2 goals, 3 points, 6 hits. He was just awesome in that comeback.
He was. And listen, you talk about Vancouver and playoff hockey. Like, playoff hockey is better when the Vancouver Canucks are involved. And tonight, you watch this game, it would have been easy for the Canucks to get frustrated with how that game was going. As much as Nashville is a up-tempo team that wants to push the pace up the ice, you would think that that is going to open them up and make them vulnerable. That never really happened in this game. So the Canucks needed to stay patient while still going out and trying to manufacture offense. And sure enough, they finally get one. It's a Quinn Hughes point shot that gets deflected in the high slot. And then you talk about Dakota Joshua. That's a great story, Jay. But how about the story of Elias Lindholm, who scores a goal early in the game, and then he's not going to get credit for an assist on this play, but he makes it happen with the forecheck. And there's a guy who comes over at the trade deadline. Things don't go well for him, and there's a lot of talk, a lot of chatter, and none of that is going to matter as long as he performs well in the playoffs. And he had a good night tonight. Dakota Joshua had a good night tonight. Thatcher Demko made the saves that he had to make. Like, awesome. That was a very impressive full 60 minutes for the Vancouver Canucks, and they didn't lose themselves along the way.
You made a great point. You know, Canucks could have gotten frustrated because Nashville comes out, they look great as well. I mean, I don't think the score sort of totally reflects how close this game really was and how good Nashville was. Do you think in some ways Vancouver maybe underestimated this Nashville team?
Nashville's going to be a pesky team, and that's the thing where they're not going to turn this into trading chances, run and gun type of series. Like, they played stingier defensively than I was expecting them to play. And I think a lot of the talk coming into the series was going to be, you know, who do you want if you're the Canucks? Do you want the Predators because they're going to play a little more of a free-flowing type of game? Do you want LA, like they're really stingy defensively, a boring kind of game, and Vancouver didn't match up well against them in the regular season? And of course, you don't want to see the Vegas Golden Knights, but you know, there is an opportunity for this series to be longer than people may have expected, and there's a number of interesting matchups that occur, like Demko versus Saros, Yossi versus Hughes. How does Elias Pettersson find a way to get away from Ryan O'Reilly, who's a really good playoff performer, and he scores a power play goal tonight? Like, ultimately, the Canucks, I feel like, will win this series, and they deserve to win game 1, but by no means do I expect it to be one of those things where Vancouver runs away with it. I think the Predators will put up a pretty good fight.
You mentioned you don't expect this series to be one where there's a bunch of run and gun trading chances, like the Winnipeg Jets win over Colorado was on Sunday night.